Welcome, deep divers. Ever stop and think about those foundational forces? The ones that quietly, but really profoundly, shape our world, our daily lives, even, the very fabric of our communities. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into one of the most ancient, pervasive, and let's be honest, often misunderstood of these forces, religion. We're aiming to unravel its intricate connections across society, history, culture, trying to get way beyond just the surface definitions. Now, just so you know where we're coming from, the original material we started with was actually put together for a science class specifically for grade 7 to 9 students, kind of give them the basics. But our mission here is to really elevate that, enrich it. We want to push past those initial concepts and offer you something more challenging, more nuanced, something intellectually stimulating that digs into the deeper implications and maybe some surprising insights. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating, even when you're building on those foundational ideas, is realizing just how deeply ingrained and, well, complex the historical and social impact of religion actually is. We're not just, connecting a few dots here. It's more like tracing entire constellations, trying to reveal how these systems have profoundly influenced humanity for millennia, and often in ways that might surprise even those of you who feel pretty well informed on the topic.
Absolutely. And to really grasp that full picture, we kind of have to start at the bedrock, right? Defining religion itself, our sources give us a decent starting point. Religion is a system of beliefs, practices, and values that shapes how people understand life, the world, and the divine.
Hmm.
But, and this is really crucial, I think it goes on to say, it also guides how people interact with others and their communities.
That word system, it's incredibly powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
It's the core thing that separates religion from, say, just a personal belief or an individual philosophy. I mean, a philosophy might give you a lens to view the world, but a religion offers a structured framework. This system, it includes communal rituals, shared ethics, collective stories, a unified worldview, and it actively guides how people interact within the group, often for generations. So it's not just what you believe, it's like the blueprint for how those beliefs show up in collective action and shared identity.
That's such a vital distinction. It means religion isn't just some abstract idea floating around in people's heads. It's an active organizing principle.
Yeah.
And you really see this come alive in the everyday rhythms, don't you?
Oh, definitely.
The material we're diving into makes it super clear that religion weaves its way into daily existence through some incredibly tangible practices.
Yeah, and if we connect this back to that bigger picture, these daily practices are the very ways that the whole system of belief isn't just reinforced, but actually, lived out. Think about rituals like prayer or meditation. They aren't just individual acts, are they?
No, not at all.
Oh. They often connect people to a larger communal tradition, fostering the sense of solidarity, shared spiritual purpose. They're almost like anchors grounding a person within their faith.
Right. And then you've got the fascinating world of dietary rules or periods of fasting, things like Ramadan in Islam, Lent in Christianity, or, kosher foods in Judaism. These aren't just random rules. They're deeply embedded, intentional practices that give structure, instill discipline maybe, and create this powerful sense of shared identity.
They're like physical manifestations of a spiritual commitment.
Exactly. Reinforcing specific values,
Mm.
connecting people directly to that larger system of beliefs, and of course the festivals and holidays, Diwali, Easter, Passover.
Huge ones.
Yeah. They aren't just parties. They're pivotal moments, bringing communities together, reaffirming shared stories, histories, values,
Wow.
almost like a living memory for the faithful.
These practices, they're so much more than just cultural traditions, aren't they? They are active, consistent expressions of a collective worldview, deeply woven into the fabric of daily life. They serve to constantly remind and reinforce an individual's place within their faith, the understanding of the divine, their obligations. It's this constant, maybe gentle, but really powerful reinforcement of belief through action.
And the influence of these deep systems, it doesn't just stop with personal habits or community rituals, does it?
Not at all.
It stretches right into the foundations of society itself, profoundly shaping laws and ethics. Our background research, it explicitly highlights that religious values have shaped many laws and ethics in history. But I think what often gets overlooked is just how deeply intertwined these influences still are, even in legal systems today that seem, totally secular.
hmm And this raises a pretty important question, doesn't it? How do these religiously influenced rules keep resonating in contemporary society, often in ways we just take for granted. I mean, when we look at core principles like justice and fairness, you can trace their profound historical influence back to Jewish and Islamic traditions. And these, in turn, significantly impacted early legal systems all over the globe. It's not just that they had laws, it's the whole philosophy behind those laws that continues to influence modern ideas, especially around equity and due process.
That's a really excellent point about the philosophical underpinning.
Hmm.
And speaking of foundational ethics, just think about the golden rule, that sort of universal principle. Treat others as you want to be treated.
That's everywhere.
It's incredibly powerful precisely because you see it pop up in such diverse traditions, Christianity, Buddhism, Confucianism. The fact that this core idea of reciprocity and empathy crosses all these different cultures and faiths, it suggests something fundamental, maybe a human quest for ethical conduct, often expressed and written down within these religious systems.
Yeah.
It's a really compelling example of like convergent evolution in moral thinking. And it still informs how we think about right and wrong, even if we're not religious at all.
Indeed. These are far from just being, historical footnotes. Many of the ethical foundations that are the bedrock of our modern legal codes, our human rights declarations, even our ideas about social responsibility, they have deep, demonstrable roots in these ancient religious teachings. They seem to tap into universal human experiences and hopes for a just, harmonious society, offering pretty timeless guidance on how we navigate living together.
Okay, so how are these profound teachings kept alive, passed down, interpreted over thousands of years? Well, through sacred texts. And these aren't just books, are they? They're the cornerstones of culture, faith, knowledge for literally billions of people.
Mm-hmm.
Our materials say that sacred texts offer guidance on morality and meaning. We're talking about texts like the Bible for Christianity.
Right.
Which, yeah, it's vast, but at its heart, it offers teachings on love, compassion, forgiveness that have undeniably shaped Western civilization.
Yeah.
Then you have the Quran in Islam, emphasizing charity, social justice, submission to God's will, driving both personal piety and community action.
Right.
The Torah, central to Judaism, outlining the laws, the covenants, the traditions of the Jewish people.
Yeah.
It's a profound guide for life and identity. And the Vedas, that ancient spiritual knowledge fundamental to Hinduism, hymns, philosophy, rituals, forming a spiritual bedrock for millions.
And what's truly fascinating here is how these texts go way beyond just simple moral instruction. They're vast repositories of history, epic poetry, philosophical questions, ritual instructions. I mean, many started as oral traditions, passed down for who knows how long before being painstakingly written down. Their role in preserving cultural identity is just immense. They act as this living, breathing link to the past for communities all over the globe. They allow entire peoples to hold on to their heritage, their understanding of the cosmos, their place in it, and the ongoing process of interpretation, reinterpretation, that ensures they stay relevant, across changing times.
Absolutely. The sheer endurance of these ancient writings, some thousands of years old, is just staggering. They don't just shape how individuals see the world, they're also this incredible wellspring for artistic expression.
Oh, definitely.
It's so clear that religion has been this unstoppable engine for creativity throughout human history. Our sources highlight that religions have inspired masterpieces of art, music, and literature.
That's spot on. And if we connect that artistic output back to the values and the understanding of the divine within different faiths, it becomes really clear that art isn't just decoration.
No.
It's a powerful, often even prescribed way to show devotion, to tell complex theological stories, and to convey abstract spiritual ideas in ways that are accessible, emotionally resonant. For instance, in many faiths, the specific style of the art itself is loaded with sacred meaning.
Exactly. Think about Islamic calligraphy and those beautiful mosque mosaics, not just stunning, but often aniconic, right? Meaning they avoid human or animal forms.
The focus on God's unity.
To focus devotion entirely on God's unity.
Right.
Yeah. The intricate geometric patterns, the sacred verses, they communicate reverence, order, beauty, often without any figures at all. Then you've got Christian stained glass windows. Historically, they were like Bibles for the illiterate, visually telling stories from Scripture, bathing worshipers in this divine light.
On the music.
And the awe-inspiring church music, yeah. Designed to uplift the spirit, guide communal worship. And Hindu temple carvings and dances incredibly rich with symbolism, telling complex myths, embodying divine forms, expressing spiritual devotion through movement, through iconography. These aren't just pretty pictures or nice sounds. They're carefully crafted expressions of faith, designed to educate, inspire, connect believers to the divine. often following very specific religious guidelines.
And this often goes beyond just the aesthetic, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, these art forms frequently act as a kind of visual or auditory catechism, reinforcing stories, morals, theological concepts for a huge audience, many of whom historically couldn't read. They make the abstract ideas of faith concrete, tangible, emotionally accessible. They solidify that collective memory and belief.
Speaking of making the abstract concrete, let's shift our focus a bit to architecture.
Ah, yes. Big statements.
Huge statements. Our sources clearly show how sacred buildings reflect spiritual values in architecture. These aren't just functional places to gather, they are monumental statements of belief, meticulously designed to evoke specific feelings and communicate core principles.
And you see this phenomenon globally. It's just brilliant form following theological function. Think about the soaring heights, the intricate buttressing of Gothic cathedrals in Europe, designed to draw your eye, your spirit, heavenward, embodying aspiration, divine grandeur.
Right.
Contrast that with the serene symmetry you often find in mosques, with their domes and minarets, creating these introspective spaces for communal prayer, reflection, often focusing on inner peace, the unity of God.
Different feeling entirely.
Yeah, totally different. And Hindu temples with those incredibly intricate carvings, often designed as symbolic representations of the cosmos itself, a microcosm of the divine universe. Or Buddhist pagodas and stupas with their tiered structures, often representing the path to enlightenment or housing relics of the Buddha. Each architectural style is far from random. It's deeply soaked in religious meaning, carefully crafted to evoke specific emotional responses and communicate profound religious ideas to anyone who enters.
It's incredible how buildings can literally embody faith. And just to bring this closer to home, let's look at a specific example right here. The Basilica Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Newfoundland.
Ah, a great local example.
Yeah, our sources note it's one of the largest Irish Catholic churches outside of Ireland. Now, this isn't just a big building. It's a colossal reflection of faith, deeply tied into the culture and community identity of Irish immigrants in Newfoundland's past. It speaks volumes about their resilience, their commitment to their heritage, their aspirations in a new land.
That local example perfectly illustrates how these bigger ideas about architecture, meaning, cultural identity, how they actually manifest in a specific place. It's this tangible piece of history that continues to connect the past and the present. It speaks not just to religious devotion, but also to the cultural heritage of a community, its hopes, its collective identity rooted in faith, especially amidst migration and settlement. It's a really powerful micro example of all the macro points we've been discussing, showing how belief literally built communities.
And the practical, tangible impact of religion, it extends even further, doesn't it? Touching on core societal functions that benefit everyone, regardless of belief. Education, health, charity.
Absolutely.
Is often overlooked. But religious groups have historically played a truly massive foundational role in setting up these vital services.
Indeed. Religious groups have often been the pioneers here, establishing schools, hospitals, charities, precisely because education, healthcare, compassionate aid are so often integral parts of their ethical teachings and their missions. This connects directly back to those core tenets of charity, compassion, the inherent value of human life you find across so many faiths. It's about translating belief into direct societal benefit.
It's such a powerful example of how profound beliefs translate into tangible action that shapes entire societies. I mean, think about Christian missionaries who built schools in countless regions, often being the very first to introduce formal education where there was none before, fundamentally changing the course of local communities.
Huge impact.
Or Islamic hospitals back in the Middle Ages. They weren't just places to get healed, they were renowned centers of advanced medical learning and research, preserving and significantly advancing medical knowledge when much of Europe was, well, in decline.
These institutions weren't just providing isolated services, they were often foundational to the development of robust civic societies. They really powerfully demonstrate how religious values can extend far beyond individual spirituality to foster communal well-being, societal progress on a grand scale, often laying the groundwork for many public services we now see as essential and universal. It's a legacy that continues to impact our world today.
So we've really taken quite a deep dive today, haven't we?
We certainly have.
We've gone beyond the basics to really unpack how religion is far more than just personal belief. It's this profound systemic force that intricately influences laws, ethics, the daily practices that shape our lives. We've seen how sacred texts, art, architecture carry deep, multifaceted meaning, and how, in surprisingly practical ways, religion shapes education, charity, the very fabric of community life.
We truly hope this journey has maybe encouraged you to recognize the profound, often understated yet pervasive influence of religion. How it shapes societies, cultures, individual lives throughout history, and yeah, right up to today, it's such a dynamic force that continues to resonate in countless ways, often just beneath the surface of our awareness.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up, here's maybe a thought for you to ponder. Given religion's deep, almost invisible influence on everything from our daily rituals to global ethics and artistic expression, what unexplored areas of your own community or maybe your personal experience might reveal these hidden layers of meaning? And how might that understanding subtly shift your perspective on the world around you?
Thank you for joining us on this enlightening deep dive.
We hope you'll continue to explore these fascinating connections in your own way. Until next time.
Welcome